Hello and welcome to my channel, my space to journal my days, to reflect and be thankful. My journey is an ordinary girl, one in a million in this so ordinary world, but aiming for the extraordinary. My thoughts for today, a new page I now create. Welcome to Slim's Diary. Not again. Not again. I'm back, diary. So now I really started to panic. I and the other car were the only ones on the street, on the road. My neighborhood was dead quiet. Everyone was asleep. Oh, how I wish there was someone walking the dog. I needed someone else to be a witness to whatever was going to be happening. Right now, I would welcome with glee a nosy neighbor. Two nosy neighbors, in fact, peeking out the window and perhaps recording the encounter. But it was just me and the other car. I slowed down as I tried to think. I was now quite close to the house and didn't want to lead them to the house, so they don't make me go into the house and help themselves to whatever little possessions we had. The kids were in bed as well, with no knowledge that we'd gone out, that we'd gone to the hospital. As I slowed down, the car also slowed down. Why? What game are they playing at here? But since no one decided to walk the dog and witness this incident, and I couldn't bank on the chance that a nosy neighbor was peeping through their window, I decided to call JJ. At least he would hear whatever went on, even if he couldn't be there to save me. He would at least be able to tell the story if it all went horribly wrong, or collaborate my story at the very least. Just before I got to the end of the road, because ours is the last house on the street, I decided to do a U turn and head back towards the hospital, or at least pretend to. That way, I don't lead them to the house. As I turned using one of my neighbor's driveway, I noticed the car was marked. It said, police. Okay. I paused a bit. But why would the police have followed me? And why would they be acting in this strange and dodgy manner? I concluded these were not real police officers, but criminals in disguise. I told JJ about the police marking and he believed them to be real, but not me. I mean, he's not the one outside being cornered by a strange car. Because it was dark and I was shaky from fright, my driving was very questionable. As I tried to do a U-turn, I wasn't getting it right. The guys in the car finally got tired of waiting for my next move and perhaps potentially stopping me from bashing into a fence and causing damage. They got out of the car and started walking towards me. Yikes. They were dressed in police uniforms And I wondered, could it be that they were the real deal and actually police officers? I was gonna find out real soon. My head was screaming, "Get out of the car and run!" But my legs wouldn't, couldn't move. So I just sat there waiting for them. JJ asked what was going on, and I told him there were two guys dressed in police uniforms approaching me. One of them, when they got to me, asked me to wind the windows down and switch the car engine off, which I did. He asked where I was coming from and where I was going, and asked for my driver's license. I gave him my whole life's history for the day and told him what I was doing outside. He asked me to point out my house, which with very heavy hands I did. His colleague, on the other hand, was checking out the car details on this mobile device he had. From these, he confirmed the car ownership details and that I was insured to drive it, and a whole lot of other blah, 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 and more blah. Long and short of it is, they were having a real quiet night and decided to be extra thorough on the one car they happened to come across at this ungodly hour and scare the bazookas of me and the process. That's my interpretation, and I'm sticking to it. By this time, my heart rate had managed to calm down a bit, and JJ from the other end of the phone line let the officers know that I had taken him to A&E. And so that was my night. I finally managed to calm my nerves after the officers left and drove down into my driveway. In the space of a week, we went from having no encounter with the police at all for years to having run ins with them. First, it was JJ and then me. We try to avoid any dealings with the police, so we always ensure we've got no reason to. We live in a good area and generally try to keep right, so the police really rarely come our way. But with this incident, I'm justified to pencil this down as my police week. That's what it is. It was a scary few minutes, which seemed like a lifetime. I mean, the entire incident was probably about 10 minutes, but it felt so long. But I hope never to repeat it. My takeaway: when it's nighttime, you should either be home and in bed or at work behind closed doors, not out and about in the streets. I'm going to take my advice and head off to bed now. See you later, Darren.